Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Ford the Frontier. I'm Bronco Specialist Greg Roman.
And I'm similarly Bronco Specialist Mike Mitchell.
Today we're going to talk about setting up a tent. The essential part of camping in the woods is having your shelter and being prepared for the elements. So your tent is going to be your home, your bedroom in the woods.
Exactly.
So having the right tent and having the right size tent, knowing how to set it up properly is very important. It's good to know your gear. It's good to practice at home before you get out in the woods so that you know what you need. So I've used this tent before. This is a 4-man tent. Nominally what they call a 4-man tent. You could technically get 4 men in
if they like each other a lot.
Yeah, but that's probably something that would sleep 2 or comfortably 1 with some extra room for bags. So sleeve together here, I've got all the components of my tent. I've got a rain fly. I've got the body of the tent. I've got my tent poles.
All right.
And I got my stakes.
Perfect.
So first step we're gonna do is lay out the body of the tent.
Okay.
So finding your spot is important. And Michael, what do you think of our placement here?
I mean, it looks pretty good. We had a nice level spot here. It looks like there's drainage so that we're not going to be sitting in basically a soup if it starts to rain in the middle of the night. Obviously, you're going to want to make sure to get rid of any big sticks that are sitting here because you don't want to have that poking you in the middle of the night. We're camping. We didn't bring our Tempur-Pedic mattress with us, so we want to make sure that we have as comfortable a spot as humanly possible.
Yeah, so I agree. I think we got a pretty good flat level spot here. Now, we've carefully put this tent away in a way that unrolls without letting a lot of things in. So we're just gonna spread out the base of our tent and stake down the corners.
Now, you mentioned previously that it's important to know your gear and important to be using the right gear for whatever event you're going to. How would you classify a tent like this? Like what conditions would you best use it in?
Well, that's a good question, Mike, because there are different levels of tent as far as, what kind of weather they can stand up to and, how light and easy they are to carry and all those things. So this is a good, I'd say 3-season tent because it does have a fly that comes all the way to the ground, as we're going to see. It has a heavy-duty waterproof base, so it doesn't need additional tarps. There are tents that are heavier duty if you're going to be tenting in the middle of winter in heavy snow. You might want heavier duty gear, but this one I like. It's versatile. It's lightweight. In the summer, it's got plenty of ventilation, but it will seal up against rain and wind. I'm gonna hand you a couple stakes. You want to start by just
Sounds good.
Getting one of those back corners in.
You got it.
See, you're putting your stakes in at an angle there, which is important. Yep.
That gives it better purchase, I guess, making sure they're going in at an angle.
Yeah. Not over tight. We don't want to tear things, but we don't want any slack. With the footprint of the tent established, we can pop in our poles. And nice thing to look for in a tent is poles that sleeve inside. So these poles have elastic down the center, and you'll notice that when they slide together, it's nice and smooth, so there's no rib on the outside. I really prefer that because it's easier to slide in and out of the tent sleeves.
Definitely reminds me of the tents I used in my Boy Scout days.
When I've got one of these poles set up, I'm just going to start at a corner and feed it through. Coming across the top here and into the next one.
There you go.
And right across. All right, and that is eventually going to go right into that grommet.
All right.
Let's get the second one through.
Sounds like a plan.
And when we flex these into place, they're going to pop the tent right up.
Now, something that I'm sure a lot of people are wondering.
Stop right. Yeah, Mike.
How much something like this cost? Because, I mean, when you're going out camping, obviously we're not at the Ritz-Carlton right now. We want to make sure that we're having fun, but we don't want to break the bank doing it.
There's such a range of what you can get for camping gear, and of course, you know, you kind of get what you pay for. But I mean, you could buy tents like this that cost as little as $50, you know, or you could spend $300, $400, $500 for a nicer one.
Okay.
So, you know, I mean, as with many things in sports gear, outdoor gear, you know, there are, you know, budget brands and then top of the line brands, and you got to just figure out what's appropriate. You know,
True.
You might only need to use a tent a couple of times. You know, why spend too much money? But if this is something you're serious about, then you're going to upgrade your gear.
Naturally.
Vehicles are a lot the same way, right?
I'm inclined to believe that.
Okay, Mike, pop the end of that tent pole into the grommet.
Yes, sir.
Just tuck it through there and it should stay.
All right, we got it.
Okay, now take that tent pole, and as I lift, I want you to just push it through and pull the tent body towards you.
All right, and then into the other grommet.
Yeah, can you get that all the way in there? Do you need a hand?
Should be pretty easy to do.
And boom, like that. Now on a mild night, you know, summer night, when you're not worried about heat, you could be done right here. But if there's weather coming or you need a little insulation, then we want to put on our next layer. Throw on a jacket, as it were. Mike, take that end.
You got it.
So this has convenient buckles that buckle right in.
And it looks like in addition to giving us a little bit more protection from the weather, this way you get a little bit more privacy too.
Something you might want to look for in a tent I like about this one, it's got entrances on both sides. So if you do have two people, you don't have to climb over somebody if you're getting out in the middle of the night. The vestibule area here, this fly comes all the way down to the ground. So you've got a little space outside your tent, little sheltered entranceway. If you do have sleeping bags taking up the whole tent floor, you got just a little space outside your door to maybe leave your shoes or a bag, and you know, keep things out from the weather. And there you go, home away from home.
Something I'd be interested in knowing is about how much does this weigh, just because most of my experience camping comes from backpacking, and when you're doing that, you really don't want to carry any more than you absolutely have to.
Yeah, this tent all folded up, wrapped up, and in the bag only weighs about 4 pounds, so it's definitely something that would be convenient for hiking with. All right, well, thanks for joining us again. I hope you've learned a little bit about selecting and setting up your tent when you're out camping. Here at Ford the Frontier, we're excited to share more content with you guys. Please like and subscribe to these videos. We're gonna keep on rolling them out. We're gonna keep on getting outdoors and having fun.
Absolutely. And you know what? If you like what we're doing, drop a comment. Tell us what your favorite kind of tent is. Tell us if you've ever had any hilarious camping mishaps. In the meantime, it's getting late. I'm bushed. I've been Michael Mitchell.
I'm Greg Roman, the Ford Bronco specialist with Preston Ford.
Thanks very much for watching, everybody. See you next time.